We could survive that. We could survive that. We could survive it.
Hello and welcome to We Could Survive That, your survival guide to the movies. My name is Jack and today I'm joined by a man who was once the assistant to Dick Jones. It's Chris.
Hello, everybody. Wait, what? Was I assistant to Dick Jones, or I was the assistant called Dick Jones?
No, you were assisting Dick Jones.
I was assistant Dick Jones.
Yes.
Ah.
How did that go? Did that go well?
Well, it started off... Well, it was a nice job. Things were going smooth. I had great health benefits. And then there was some altercation with the law, as it were. And he kind of... I do believe he fell out of a window, or was shot out of a window.
Yeah. Were you out of the job then? You put on benefits?
No, I took his place. And I
You
decided...
were the new Dick on the town.
Yes,
Yes.
I suppose. There's a great place I can tell you to go. Where all the new dicks in the town can have a good time.
Oh dear. That was just an elaborate way for me to call you a dick.
Yes, thank you. I picked up on that.
You're a dick, Chris.
Why do I keep coming back to this show?
You're welcome. Right, we're covering Robocop today. The original Robocop.
The proper Robocop. That was done
Ooh.
correctly.
Have you seen the remake?
I have seen the remake. I was disappointed.
Where you...
They have toned down the violence severely.
The original is like an 18 and the new one was like a 12? I've not seen it.
I think
so.
it's a 12, yeah. I've got it at home. I was not overly impressed.
No.
But that's okay. I'm sure we'll leave the new one
Watch
to
it
another time.
or don't watch it.
If you've seen the original one, probably not worth watching this one because it just sort of just ruins it for you.
So you're saying, for the first time, don't watch a film?
Only if you've seen the original. If you've not seen the original, still don't watch this and
Just
go watch
say
the
it.
original.
Embrace the hate, Chris. You'll feel
I don't
much
want to.
better.
I don't want to.
Embrace it.
I'm gonna go watch a remake of Robocop when I'm home.
Why? You just said you've watched the original.
Yes,
Embrace the dark
maybe
side.
maybe I need to give it another chance. It's got Michael Keaton in it.
It might grow on.
That's
you.
got to
It's
mean
got
something.
Batman in it.
It's got Batman in it.
Shall we get straight into the original Robocop? Because I think everyone pretty much knows the structure of it. And stuff.
Yeah, if you've not seen the original Robocop, it's because you're like 10 or something.
Yeah, don't watch it because you're not of
age.
age to watch it.
That film taught me a lot. It taught me the F word, which I didn't know what it meant at the time. So I paused the film when I first heard it, and I went out into the kitchen and asked my mum what it was, and she told me off.
She beat you viciously.
That's a bit. I can't talk about that. But then I went back and I finished the film. So it's a film everybody should watch. It's a rite of passage.
Yes, I'd agree with that. Right, let's get stuck in with Kenny, who is on the board of OPC, the company that builds Robocops and Ed 209s, and they've got a contract with the police.
Don't they own the police now?
No, they've just got a contract. They run it and stuff.
I'm pretty sure in the remake, I might be wrong, they take over the police.
Does that make you
they're
angry?
in charge of it.
Does that make you angry, Chris? The rage is building in you.
I am quite calm at the moment.
Fine.
I might be wrong about that anyway, about the remake. I can't remember.
Okay, so there's this guy called Kenny on the panel of this company, and Dick Jones is demonstrating his Ed 209, saying, oh, it's so much better than normal police officers because it's not going to eat and sleep and take breaks and we're not going to pay it. And he uses Kenny as a demonstration to see how brilliant and safe the Ed 209 is. So he gives Kenny a gun. Ed 209 attempts an arrest on him. There's a glitch in Ed and Kenny ends up being shot quite a lot of times. So, Chris, you've been Dick Jones's assistant once. How would you solve this situation without being killed?
What I would have done is after I've dropped the gun, and Ed 209 is still asking me to drop the gun, and I realise he's doing a countdown, and it's probably got loaded guns. So actually, that's a point. Why are they loaded its guns?
Why did Dick put live rounds in it?
Yeah,
Why would they allow a... Does the gun that Dick gives to Kenny have live rounds in it as well?
Well, he loads it with an ammo clip. I hope he's got live rounds because it's key to my survival here.
If you're going to try and take out Ed 209 with a gun...
I
Because I imagine if you started shooting at it, it would just shoot back automatically.
No, I was going to use the gun and grab somebody as a hostage and hold them in front of me. I mean, if it was malfunction, it might have shot anyway, but
Yeah, and
the body
it's
could
a
absorb the
computer
bullets.
as well, so it'd probably have super aiming as well.
That's why I'd cover several people.
You'd grab like 2 people and
Yeah.
hold them in front of you.
They,
How would you control 2 people?
they wouldn't try to break away or restrain me, though, would they?
Yes,
Because
they
Ed
would.
209 is going to shoot me.
Exactly, and they'd want to get out of the way as soon as possible.
Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, silly me, I didn't think about this. I would have ran towards Ed 209 after throwing the gun down and, like, slid between his legs, and I'd have out of the room, down
Again,
the corridor,
I
and
think
gone.
any aggressive move towards Ed 209 would result in Ed defending itself. It's Asimov's like 3rd or 4th rule of robotics. Have you seen iRobot?
Yeah, there's only 3
iRobot?
rules.
It's his 7th.
Oh, yeah, it's the 7th rule. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So I think Ed would step on you if you tried to slide away.
Alright, fine, I'll take 1 hostage, and I'd hold it. But then, even then, yes, it'd have super, super duper aiming, and it'd probably shoot me and just take me out, but I don't think it wouldn't be able to shoot me enough to kill me.
I think your head would be exposed.
No, because I'd be
And you'd
crouching
be
down
shot.
behind the guy's body.
So how are you controlling this person with the gun, grabbing them and crouching down?
I'm not crouching down, I'm like ducking behind him, so my top half of the body is shielded behind theirs, right?
Right, yeah.
And I've just got one hand on the shoulder and the gun pushed firmly against their spine. So I will pull the trigger and it might not kill them, but they won't walk again.
So your way to surviving this is take out as many people as possible. Because Kenny does try to hide behind a bunch of people, but they're all board members and they all push him back out into the open, into the path of Ed 209.
Yeah, except I would have kept
Kenny's
the gun.
quite scrawny, so I don't think he'd be able to overpower anyone.
But
in
this
the
isn't
boardroom.
Kenny we're talking about.
Yes,
this
you're
is me.
Kenny. You are Kenny, Chris.
Damn. I would have the gun though.
No, but he's thrown the gun down.
But I'd
would
pick
you?
the gun
You just
back
wouldn't
up.
throw the gun down.
No, I would have thrown it down, obviously, because it would have been like, oh, this is part of the demo. And when it was still counting down, I would have been, alright, grab the gun, grab a hostage. I've seen this film, I know what's going to happen. They'd be like, what are you talking about? You've seen this film? And I'd be like, this is all a film, you're all crazy. And then institutionalized.
After being shot repeatedly by Ed 209.
There was no Ed 209.
It was all a
I'm
hallucination by
in a
Kenny.
McDonald's at the moment, trying to fight off a burger.
Oh dear.
What would you do?
I reckon drop the gun and then just run out the boardroom as fast as you could.
That's what I said.
No, you said grab a hostage.
Yeah, but I
and-
also said to run out of the ballroom by diving through Ed 209's legs, because
No.
he's in front of the door.
No, I'm sure there's like a different. I'm sure the old man who runs the company comes in through a different door. So just go through that door. Don't try and
That
run
door's probably
past
secured.
Ed 2. Why would it be secured? It's just a board meeting. Also,
With-
ask
oh.
Dick Jones before you volunteer for this. Is it got live rounds in it?
Did he volunteer or did Dick choose him?
Probably a bit of both. Have a different seat on the board because I think Dick chooses him just because he's closest.
Ouch. That must suck.
Or go,
Imagine if they didn't have assigned seats and it was just you turn up and just grab a random seat.
yeah.
Oh, Kenny, what a bad choice.
Or maybe Dick's got it in for Kenny because Dick
Mm.
kills another one of his co-workers a bit later on, so maybe Dick is just a dick.
Oh, he doesn't like Kenny.
So Kenny's dead.
Well, yours is dead. Mine's alive.
No, mine's in like the office room drinking whiskey while Ed's trying to break into the office room. I'm sure the old guy has like office security that would keep out an Ed 209.
No, because Dick loaded it with live rounds.
Why did none of the other tech team say, Dick, that's probably the head of the company is in this room? What if one of them ricochets and kills the
Yeah,
old
why
man?
would you have live rounds in it?
It's just a silly mistake. Unless Dick meant it.
Silly mistake or an evil plot.
Well, Dick is evil.
No, I don't think he would meant to do it though, because of that malfunction. The Ed 209 project sort of like pushed back, isn't it, and shut down
Yeah.
until Robocop
So-
messes up.
Dick could have saved himself a whole lot of trouble if he'd just not put bullets in.
Yeah, I mean, it could put rubber bullets in. I probably would have been a safer option, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why is the Ed 209 got one mode, lethal killing mode? Does it not have rubber bullets or anything like that?
It probably does, but again,
I mean, it's got rockets. Why? Normal police people aren't allowed rocket launchers. Why is Ed 209 allowed a rocket launcher?
because Ed 209 would be sent into more hostile situations, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but not where it would require... Name me one aspect of policing that would require a rocket launcher. Legally.
You are under
Legally.
attack by somebody who's using a stolen Apache attack helicopter. And you guys shoot it down. You got one chance because it's about to blow up the school with the children inside it.
And you need a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
How often
Oh
does that
no,
happen,
you haven't
though?
got one. Well, when it does happen, you'll be sorry, won't you?
Oh, fine. Give all police officers rocket launchers.
Or small grenades, small explosives.
Shall we move on then? I think
Let's do.
with that death has just been us questioning why Ed 209 is a good idea.
Yeah, straight away you can
It's
see
not a
it's
good
not a good
idea.
idea.
Right, so we get introduced to Officer Murphy, who will soon become the Robocop, and he gets involved in a chase with Bodica, who's this cop-killing drug dealer type thing. Murphy gets off a few shots at the van that they're chasing, that Bodica's in, and gets one of the henchmen, Bobby, shot in the leg, and Bobby's now pretty much useless to the gang, so Bodica instructs his troops to throw him out into the path of Murphy's car. So he lands on the windscreen, breaks that, and then it's just pushed off and falls off and probably dies. How would you survive that? Not get shot in the first place? Dodge? I mean, the van's a pretty small environment and it's quite packed, so the chances are someone's getting shot. How do you avoid that?
Several steps you can take, Jack. Step number 1. Remain at the rear of the van, which would actually technically be
At
the
the front,
of
yeah.
the van, yeah.
Stay away
So-
from the big open bit.
That's correct. So everybody's in front of you, so you've got protection. Number 2, after being shot, you should realise the person you're working for is batshit crazy and is ruthless.
Well, they've been working with him for a while now, and they know that he's quite merciless.
So, yeah, after I'd been shot, and I fall down, and they would have been like, Barbara, you're not any good to us now. I'd have just blown his brains out there and then.
So you would have shot Bodica.
I
I'm
would have
pretty sure
shot and killed all of them.
all of them with a broken leg. Or,
It's not
well, a
broken,
shot
it's
leg.
only bleeding. Yeah, because they're going to be focused on a Murphy, aren't they? I'm just like, bang, bang,
I think
bang,
they'd turn
bang.
their attention to you pretty quickly as soon as you started shooting them.
Yeah, at which point Murphy then shoots them. Because then they're looking away. Either
Yeah.
way, they're all going to die. And yeah.
You've just
Or,
turned traitor.
or, third and final, is when they throw you out the car, you unleash a load of bullets into the windscreen so it smashes
I'm
open.
pretty sure he doesn't have his gun at this point anymore. I'm sure when
I'm
he
pretty
gets
sure-
shot, he drops it and goes, my leg.
I'm
and,
pretty
like, tries
sure
to
I would have
stop
kept
the
hold of my
bleeding.
gun at this point. So as I'm throwing out the car, throwing out the van towards the police car, I would have fired at the windscreen, so it was weakened, possibly even smashing it a bit. So when I actually hit it, I would have smashed through into the seat, where they would engage in some sick-ass hand-to-hand combat with Murphy, while Lewis is trying to drive the car. I then grab the steering wheel, turn it violently so the car flips, crashes.
You're on the
I
bonnet
then
of
get
the car,
out. Oh, no,
or
I'm
you're
inside. I'm
but
inside.
you're not wearing a seatbelt.
I don't need one. And then I
You
crawl.
kinda do.
Hang on. Then I crawl out of the car, and then the van comes back, and they're like, everyone's cheering, like, "Yeah, you're the man! Yeah, you got them police! You did it!
They've thrown you out.
Here's some pizza. Well done."
Oh, is this the same one where you've shot them all?
No. This is a different one.
So you either shoot them all of your buddies, or you do impossible kung fu in a car, flip it over, and then survive without a seatbelt.
Yes, and then bleed out from the
Because
gunshot
of the leg
wound.
wound.
Yes,
Yeah. I really doubt that they'd turn back and come back and save you.
they would after they realised how sick that was.
No, because they're probably like miles away.
Fine, in that
now.
case, I'll sprint after them then.
With a
You can't dispute
busted up
that.
leg,
Yes. What would you do?
I would just hold on to the front of the car. Because he lands sort of sideways. I'm sure he could turn back around, swivel a bit, and just grab hold of the dashboard and just try not to fall off the car. Because if they shot you then, that's police brutality, and they'd have to take you back to custody.
Yeah, but this is in the future. I don't know what the laws on police are in this time. They might be able to
Execute
might be able-
people?
not execute people. Well, look at Dredd.
If you gave me a choice between the futures, I'd probably choose this one. Because
Oh
they've
yeah,
got robot stuff, so
yeah.
that would be better. So they're probably more civilized than Dredd.
But they might be allowed to use a bit more force than what is
I know.
accepted
Lewis does
at the moment.
start beating the shit out of someone that she's just
There
arrested
you go,
in custody. But she doesn't kill him. They never go,
Yes,
I'll just kill
but
him
the
and
force-
have it done with it.
But that shows they do use a bit more excessive force, and it's just accepted.
Yeah, but they wouldn't
It's
just
what happens.
kill him.
It's what needs to be done.
Alright, so Bobby dies. Poor Bobby. And then Murphy and Lewis follow Bottica's gang to a warehouse where they sneak in. It's just the two of them. And they try to take down this whole gang of cop murdering people single-handedly.
Well, there's your first mistake.
Yeah, call for backup at least. Ask for the rocket launcher, guys.
Ask them to send in an Ed 209.
Do they know about the Ed 209?
Probably not, no.
No, that's a top secret thing. So Murphy sneaks in. He ambushes two guys. One guy goes for a shotgun and Murphy shoots him dead. And the other guy is just... Emil is just there in shock and is
Sitting
only
on
saved...
the couch, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only saved when the rest of his gang turn up and blow Murphy away. So I just don't go for the shotgun. Because he's right there. He can't possibly miss a shot with a handgun. Your other friend doesn't appear to be too bothered about helping you out. So.
Keep the gun on you at all times.
It's
even
a
when you've got
shotgun.
back
It's
to your
pretty.
safe
I'm not
house.
sure he's got a long enough pocket to keep it.
No,
in.
whatever he was doing, just keep the gun on you. Maybe slung over your shoulder.
Well, he probably
or just
thinks
next
it's
to your
safe now
side.
because they're just watching TV. They're just chilling.
I would also keep a handgun on me at all times. If I'm in a criminal gang, I'm going to stay armed as much as possible.
I still think Murphy would have shot you before you. If you made a move, he's feeling a bit edgy. He's not got time to mess about, so I think he'd just shoot you. And if we're living in a world where they can shoot an unarmed Bobby from the hood of their car, I think they'd kill this guy as well.
Alright, and I'd play it cool and faint.
You'd swoon and fall over.
And then as he comes over to try and detain me, I'd then jump over like, surprise! I'm actually conscious! He won't shoot me while I'm saying this because he'd be like so surprised.
I was going to say, you've just ruined the surprise by shouting surprise.
And then grab his body armor and rip it with my hands, tearing it in half. And then
The
punch
body
him.
armor's not that good anyway, because it's not bulletproof because he gets shot a lot.
That's
in the
true.
body.
And then punch him through the chest, grab his spine, and then pull
Have
his
you been
spine.
playing Mortal Kombat again?
Maybe.
I
And
told
then-
you not to play that before.
And then
you
holding
did
his
this.
spine, I would then pull it out.
No.
Effectively disarming Murphy. But I'd probably faint and then just play it cool like that. Because now I'm the least threatening person there. So there's a less chance of him using excessive force on me because I am not a threat at all because I'm unconscious.
So that's your plan. Just swoon and fall over. Well, you would survive, because Robocop would just be like, what? What?
Exactly. And the idea is to survive. So there we go, I've survived.
And then jump back up
the
when
rest
the
of the
rest
gang
of the
turn
gang
up,
get
don't
there.
they?
Yeah.
Sorted.
Okay, so don't try and be a hero. So
Don't try and
Murphy
be a
is...
bad guy.
Yeah, don't try and be a bad guy. So Murphy is shot to death after that, and he's turned into Robocop. This one, it's not a death, but it is a pretty memorable scene in the film where this guy tries to rape a lady, and Robocop shows up and shoots him in the dick. Let's just take a moment and appreciate that scene for a second. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a good scene.
That guy deserved it as well.
Oh yeah, obviously.
He's a nasty man.
He's a rapist, isn't he? Or a possible rapist.
Attempted.
Well, he may have raped before, so he could be.
Well,
could
he
be
won't
a
be
rapist.
doing that again.
Exactly. Robocop done a good job. I'd like the way he just shoots through her dress in between her legs
Yeah.
and takes that guy out.
See, that's the
Very good
targeting
shot.
system. It's good.
I
Very
do agree.
useful.
Yes.
Yeah. So next death is it's a hostage situation that Robocop is involved in. A guy called Miller is holding the mayor hostage in City Hall, and he's threatening to kill him in front of all these police officers. But lo and behold, Robocop is in the next room, punches through the wall, grabs Miller, and then punches him out a window.
Does he die?
I would assume so, because one, I think they're on like a second story, so when he gets punched out the window, he falls a couple of stories, and Robocop is made of metal, so I'm pretty sure being punched with this metal fist would cause severe injuries to Miller.
Yeah, I'd imagine as well. What does it show him landing? Does he land on a police car?
No, it doesn't show him landing.
It just shows him being punched out.
Yeah. Flying through the window.
Oh yeah, I remember the scene now.
Okay, here's my thing. Don't hold your boss hostage. Don't hold the mayor hostage. Go into his office politely and I think he's after a job. I think he's been fired or something. Just take the redundancy pay and run.
Yeah, you're good to go. You're free. You can go
You're
be whatever
free.
you want.
Exactly. You can take an early retirement or something.
I mean, I would have gone and shat on his desk.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit more civilized than taking him hostage, isn't it?
To people that are thinking of hiring Chris, don't fire him because he'll shit on your desk.
I'm already hired. I have a job. And
Just
I plan
hope
to
you
shit
don't
on those
get
desks.
fired.
Yes, even if I quit, I'm going to take a duke on the desk.
But that's your choice to... Oh my God, never quit this podcast. I hate to think what you're doing.
We won't go into that.
Oh dear.
But if you are in that situation, don't stand near any walls. Just stand...
But the public don't know about Robocop yet. So it's not a thing that he'd be expecting.
That does make it more difficult. Okay, got it. Robocop punches through a wall. He drags me out. I'm like, oh no! He goes to punch me through the window. What's this? He's punched? Have I just ducked? Oh, did anybody tell you that Miller is actually an ex-professional boxer?
No, I don't think Miller is. And if you're going to try and box with Robocop, it would be a short boxing match.
No, because he's
he'd
trying
just
to hit
pull
me.
out his gun.
No, because he's trying to hit me, and I'm just bobbing and weaving, and then... Or if I know what I do, sir. Let's make it more interesting. I'm going to let him punch me out the window. I'm going to stand there and let him punch me out the window.
No, because that's the cause of your death.
Ah.
Or potential death.
He punches me out the window. I do some sick-ass aerobatics and land on top of a police officer, exploding his head,
That's not
killing
how
the
it
police
works.
officer, and cushioning my blow. And then pick up
He's
the police
not
officer's...
Mario.
I pick up the police officer's... The fallen police officer's gun. Open fire on the rest of the
Well,
police.
Miller does have a
steal
gun
a
when he's
car.
punched out the window. So.
Well, there you go. I've already got my gun then. I waste all the other police down there. I grab a car and I drive off.
No, I
Miller
think
1, Robocop 0.
I think the punch would knock out Miller because he's just an average, normal person. You want my advice on this?
Give me your advice if you must.
Robocop turns him round to punch him out the window. Just shoot at Robocop's faceplate where his eyes are, because then that'd mess up his targeting system.
I imagine that's
And,
bulletproof.
Yeah, but it would still, all the sparks and stuff coming off of it would obscure you for a little bit, and then you just run back through the hole and run down the stairs and surrender to the police.
Maybe. You also say other police won't just like punch you up into the window.
Yeah, and then
Hold
Robocop
you on the road and hit you
punches
with a car.
down,
Yeah.
Because these police are brutal.
Brutal.
They're brutal. Oh, it's not good. All right, Bob is one of Dick Jones's colleagues, and Bob insults Dick Jones in the toilet.
He's a little stuck-up guy. He's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to take Dick Jones' place. Oh, I'm going to go to the head of the company, etc., etc.
And Bob made Robocop, so Dick's got a few reasons to not be happy with Bob. So Dick sends Botica after him, and Bob gets shot in the legs. Botica toys with him, shows a DVD of Dick Jones bragging, going, "You had to die because of this, and this." And then Botica places a bomb on the table, and Bob tries to get rid of it, and it explodes.
One thing I like about this scene is that they got something right about the future.
What's that? DVDs?
Yeah, well, he put a disc in to play the video, didn't he?
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't have DVDs actually then. They just assumed that stuff would go onto discs.
Well,
And
they
it
had
did.
like CDs and stuff, so.
Yeah, but not DVDs.
Hmm.
So I'm
Well
taking
done.
it as they
Well done,
got
people of the past.
yeah, they did well on that one.
They didn't predict digital downloads, though, did they?
Oh no.
Or
no.
mobile phones. Or selfie sticks.
Oh, selfie sticks. Never used one. Not gonna ever use one.
You're using one now. What are you on?
What? I know what you're talking about. Pose quickly. Just before the bad guy turns up to shoot him in the legs and stuff, he's with two prostitutes and he's snorting, I believe, cocaine.
Yeah, so he's not on top form.
No, so you're
His
high at the
mental
moment.
faculties are a bit impaired at the moment, so he can't do situational problem solvings as good as he could do if he had a clear head. Don't do drugs, kids.
Because otherwise men would turn up and shoot you in the legs and
then
put
blow up
grenades.
your house.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's such a powerful grenade. It destroyed his house.
I know, well, it's a future grenade.
Oh, of course,
What
yeah,
I
future
do
grenade.
is instead of trying to get rid of it, because I assume Bob's probably not a sporty guy, so he wouldn't be able to throw it very far.
He only gets shot in one leg, doesn't he?
I think he gets shot in both legs.
I was going to say, if it's just one leg, then Bob, you made a piss poor attempt to go for that grenade.
Yeah. So I would leave the building. Just crawl out, because he's in sort of a conservatory type place.
Yeah.
A posh conservatory. So just crawl out. Crawl out, open the door, crawl out, rather than trying to fumble with the grenade, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to throw it out of range.
No, it's quite a powerful grenade, isn't it?
Yeah, so just get out the house and hide behind a plant pot or something. Something sturdy.
I would have used my wealth. He's obviously a rich person. He's got a lot of money. So surely you have a lot better security on your house so this guy can't get in the first place.
Well, clearly not.
And even if he does get in, I would have dragged myself to my panic room. I would have said, you're responsible for creating Robocop. You work for a company that builds automatic security machines and stuff.
Have your own personal Robocop in your house?
Yes, but like just a fully automated one. So this guy would have turned up and it would have been like, I'm here to do whatever. Oh, what the fuck is that? That's Robocop 2. Robo Bill.
So why call him Robocop if he's just a guard? Robo bodyguard.
Alright, Robo Guard.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, Robo Guard would have been like, stop. You are in violation of Rule 55912-4. And then it would have shot him.
Just say, get the fuck out of this house, because he's probably thrown the grenade by the time
Yeah,
he's trying to ramble off this list of rules. Yeah, that's fair enough.
that's
Have
fair
like
enough.
some turrets and stuff.
Yeah, or better
in your
security.
garden.
I would have thought a big house like that with a lot of wealth, you would have had some decent security on there.
Well, maybe Dick has access to it, because he's
Oh,
meant to be a
okay.
computery guy, so maybe he disabled it for a bit.
Yep, okay, that's fair enough.
So that's clever of Dick.
Mmm,
Yeah,
clever Dick.
clever Dick.
The Dick is evolving.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
So all that goes down, and then Robocop decides that he's had enough of Bodica, and he figures out that he was killed by him. So he goes to this drug place, and there's a massive shoot up, and Robocop does his best gun fu, which is martial arts with basically it's turning, because that suit is pretty cumbersome, so there's not much room for flipping and stuff. So he takes out this whole bunch of drug guys with his gun. Bodica's there, and he just about manages to... Well, no, actually, Bodica doesn't escape. He's beaten up by Robocop and taken in and arrested.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a factory, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a drug factory.
Yeah.
So the main guy of this drug factory, he's organising his men trying to take out Robocop. Robocop shoots one of his friends. His friend turns around and goes, "Oh, no, I've been shot," and he's still got his trigger finger on this gun and his machine gun. Turns around going, "Ah!" and he shoots the main drug dealer guy. And drug dealer guy flies off into some boxes and dies.
Okay.
How would you survive that?
It's a difficult one, that. Oh, it's not actually. It's quite simple what you do.
As you
Once
see your
Robocop-
friend turning with the
You
machine
shoot
gun,
him.
shoot him
You
first
shoot him in the head and just
before
kill
he
him
shoots
dead.
you.
Or you duck, or maybe just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Or fall back to your panic room.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he
he's
should
a
have-
he's a
he should have-
powerful drug dealer.
Yeah, he
must
should have one
some
as well.
panic rooms
There should be a
and
lot more
stuff.
panic rooms in this film.
Yeah, one in the old man's office, one in the drug dealing den, one in Bob's house. Come on, panic rooms. So just get out of the way, or get rid of your friend.
Yeah.
Or don't start a shoot up with a Robocop.
Who shoots first? Robocop.
I think he just bursts in one-man SWAT team and just takes them all out.
Surrender. I would have dropped my gun, got down to my stomach and put my hands behind my head and been like, I give up, I give. Oh wait, do they have the death penalty?
Yes, I would assume so.
Yeah, oh crap, no. I'd probably get a death penalty for being like the head of the drug thing.
Yeah.
Right, screw that then. Yeah, once I saw my guy get shot and he's having a
He's
bit of a-
about to turn round, still shooting
I would
bullets
have,
at you.
I would have fired at him and maybe just, shot him in the head, killed him so he's actually dead and drops to the floor.
Or invest in the safety of your henchmen and buy them all body armour and insist that they wear it the whole time. That would be good, right?
That would be wet, but then Robocop has armor-piercing rounds, I'd imagine. And even if he didn't, he would, his targeting system would, avoid
Aim
the
for the
armor.
head or the arms or something. Okay, but then he wouldn't spin, because if Robocop shoots him in the head, then that's an instant
Not necessarily.
death.
It
But
depends
he
where
won't
shoots
have
him in
enough
the head.
momentum to then spin around and start shooting you.
You don't know, man. It depends where he shoots him in the head. It could happen either way.
Okay, we're going to go back onto Ed 209 and we're going to complain about him some more, right?
Yay!
Yay, that's our favourite bit. Robocop goes to arrest Dick Jones, and Dick Jones has put in a fail-safe that if Robocop tries to arrest anyone on the staff, he'll shut down. But Robocop fights the program, and then Dick Jones unleashes Ed 209 on him, and they have a fight. The rockets come out, and Robocop finally decides that he's going to run away. He runs down some stairs, and Ed tries to follow him, but then falls over and lands on his back and just starts whining, and Robocop escapes.
Why do they make his feet so big?
Yeah.
I'm sure, because Ed 209 is massive. Could they not have made him the same thing, but a smaller version, maybe?
Or have him on, like, tank treads instead.
I still think his weight would have tipped him forward, though, while going downstairs.
Okay, give him a better centre of gravity.
Yeah, put him on a tank treads and then add weight that can be moved around from the back and the front of him. Keep him up, keep him balanced.
Get rid of the rocket launchers. I imagine that
They're
they
quite
add a
heavy.
lot of weight as well to them.
Or add some sort of, just miniature hover program to his feet. Not hover program,
Yeah,
like
Ed
boosters.
209, but like instead of tank treads, like a hovercraft legs. Well, not hovercraft left, just like hovercraft.
Basically, what you
stuff.
want is for him to be able to do
A
what the Daleks
levitating-
do in Doctor Who
Yes.
when they levitate up the stairs.
Build a Dalek. That would be better, Dick.
No, it wouldn't. That'd
It
be a
would
lot
be.
of words.
Well, no, you wouldn't program it to be a Dalek, a police Dalek.
No, because they
With that,
tried
and
this
its
in
little
Doctor
eyes
Who
are like
with
the
army
Nenor
Daleks.
bits. The blue Nenor bits.
I like
That'd
that.
be great.
No.
A Dalek. Ed 209. Okay, just give it petite legs
Yeah.
or hovercraft.
Hovercraft or smaller legs with a better centre of balance.
Mm.
It's not hard, Dick.
Yeah.
You really fucked up with this Ed 209 thing, didn't you?
I mean, we have robots now that can walk downstairs and upstairs. I mean, it takes them a long time to program in how they're meant to do it, but
yeah, but at least we've done it,
yeah.
sort of. Not us personally, I should
No,
point out.
we've not built robots.
There's not a robot sitting in the corner
Although
waiting
those
for every
robots
command.
don't have bazookas and machine guns built in. So
Not yet, but one
Mm.
day.
One day they will. Okay, so Robocop gets away from Dick and his Ed 209, and he sets Boudica after him. And Dick gives Boudica these special blowy up guns that they got explosive rounds in them, basically. And one of the henchmen is Joe Cox, and they go to a steel mill to find Robocop. Robocop distracts Joe Cox and Boudica and his other henchman Nash, and shoots Cox after going looking for me, and shoots Cox, and then they all try and shoot Robocop, and Robocop runs away. So you're Mr. Cox.
Okay.
I don't think there's much he could do because Robocop, I know he gives away the element of surprise by going looking for me, and Robocop shoots for Cox first because none of them get off shots.
How does he distract him exactly?
He just throws a mirror or a piece of scrap metal.
So they all turn and look one way.
Yeah, and then he goes looking for me. They all turn back, and Robocop shoots Cox.
Crafty bugger.
I know, he's sneaky, isn't he?
Okay,
Why
simple.
didn't he go for Boudica first? Because he's the one that he's got the grudge against. I'm sure Joe never hurt
I think he
anyone.
wants to arrest Boudica.
Well, no, he's arrested him once already, and
Dick got him out, didn't he?
yeah.
But still. I think what they should have done is the simple back-to-back procedure. So Cox and Nash will be back-to-back with Boudica standing a little way back as well because he's the more important character. He wouldn't be up there in front.
Or Boudica in the middle, and they sandwich between him.
Yeah, or even that. And that way, once Robocop throws a thing, whoever's looking, like Nash is looking towards wherever the direction the sound comes from, and Cox keeps looking the other way just in case.
And then maybe he sees Robocop. And
Yeah,
starts
I
shooting
brought
at
this
him.
point up in Hitman last week when Hitman takes out two of them because he sneaks up behind them.
Yeah, better
Back
teamwork.
to back.
Yeah.
No one ever does it.
No. But at this point, they're just searching for him. They don't even know if he's there, so... Hang on. They do have a tracking thing on Robocop, so they might... If they had Google Maps back then, or back then in the future,
Oh,
that makes sense, then they could pinpoint him a bit quicker. Although saying that, Google Maps isn't very good.
You need a good signal. You need Wi-Fi for it to work best, don't you? Should we go on a rant about Google Maps now?
No, we'll save that for another time.
Excellent, right.
So back-to-back stuff, that's
Yeah, back
pretty,
to back.
pretty simple.
You know, basic tactics. Keeps you going, keeps you alive. Don't go in guns blazing, cowboy style.
Have you ever thought of training evil henchmen?
Do you know what? It's funny you should say that.
Have you started an evil henchman school?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's move on quickly.
Okay, so the next one of Bodika's henchmen to die is Emil, who crashes into a chemical tank when he tries to run over Robocop with a van. Robocop shoots at him, so he ducks out of the way, doesn't see where he's going, smashes into this thing, rolls out the back, and he's all deformed and melty and stuff. He walks out into the road where Bodika's being chased by Lewis in a car. He doesn't see him, runs straight into him, and he splats, evaporates.
Best death
into
of the film,
water.
that one.
Yeah. And it's creepy. He looks all melty and his fingers are all stringy. It looks like they've got skin that's been pulled off on them.
Well, it is. The skin's melted off of him,
Yeah.
hasn't he? And whatever this stuff is, apparently acts really fast because by the time he gets hit by the car, it's reduced all of his bones to
just
gunk.
mush. How was he able to walk if he was just water and pus inside?
Well, he wasn't at that point, was he? But for the time for him to stagger out there and then get hit by the car, it happened then. What the hell was in that tank he hit?
I don't know. And they're in
why
a
is it on a
steel mill.
Why is it a steel mill?
What kind of crazy chemicals do they use in making steel? That's just mad. Health and safety nightmare? The company that owned the steel mill should have cleaned up their mess.
I think health and safety are probably a bit more relaxed. That's why the police
Back
are so
then
violent.
in the future.
Back then in the future, yeah. Right, I think what I would have done is... Well, Robocop shoots, doesn't he, at the henchman guy.
Yeah. And he
And then
ducks
he-
to avoid the bullets.
That's it, yeah. And he ducks, he crashes, doesn't he?
Be a safer driver.
Yeah, don't duck out of the way. Robocop's already missed. You don't need to duck. Don't be a little
I
bitch
think
about it.
Robocop would have shot him if he hadn't ducked.
Does he, after you shoot him and he ducks down, Robocop just moves to the side. He just keeps driving forward, does he?
Yeah. Maybe brake.
Brake, yeah. As
Slow
soon as you duck
down a
down, I
little
would have
bit.
braked and would have been like, because I'd be thinking, I can't see where I'm going and I'm probably going to miss him. I might hit a wall or something. I'm going to
Yeah.
brake. Yeah, maybe just brake, take it a bit slowly. Don't try and run Robocop over. He's quite... I don't get why he tries to run him over. He's a robot, for fuck's sake.
He's a robot cop.
Exactly. Why would you try and run him over? If anything, he can probably take getting hit by a car or a van and he'd be alright.
Yeah, it'd be like driving into a lamppost or something, maybe. Because he's made out of Kevlar and titanium and stuff, so...
Yeah, I think he'd be able to take that, so... That'd have been silly. What you should have done is stayed up high and just shot with the big gun.
Well, he's in the van. It's his job to be in the van, so...
Well, fuck your job. Get out the van.
Well, no, he'd be shot by Bodika for, not following orders.
Would you rather be shot or rather be melted and then exploded? I can't help but thinking getting shot might be the better option in this time.
Oh, dear.
What would you have done?
I would have pimped out the van with bulletproof glass and stuff. Because he's in a gang, so you'd want to take more protection over this thing. So yeah.
They should have just got an EMP.
Oh, what, to take out Robocop?
Yeah, it gets near, they activate it. Oh, Robocop shuts down.
Yeah, instead of explodey guns, why didn't Dick invest in that?
Exactly, that would have been a lot simpler. That would have saved them a lot of hassle. They could have just had it. I'm sure they could have had it just a wristband or something. So Robocop gets near, they just activate it. Short range EMP.
Yeah.
Takes him out.
Or
Done.
if Dick's got access to the programming, couldn't he just rewrite it so Robocop is now blind or something?
No,
or his left arm doesn't work?
I don't think he's got remote access to Robocop.
Well, he could get remote access, couldn't he? He could ask one of Bob's team to give him that and shut him down or something.
Yeah, but then there'd be no story.
Oh, right. Yeah, that would make for a much less interesting movie.
It would, yeah. We should rewrite Robocop.
To make
First
it
5
less
minutes,
interesting.
As soon as he starts
Oh, wait,
acting
they
up.
already did that with the remake.
Oh!
Burn. Okay, moving on. Botika's death is next. He crashes his van after hitting his henchman and Emil goes splat. And he drives off this mini cliff quarry thing and he's followed by Lewis. He manages to shoot Lewis, but she's not dead. Nash goes up in a crane thing and drops some girders on Robocop. Then Nash is shot with the exploding gun by Lewis. Botika's distracted by this. Robocop gets his deadly USB stick out of his wrist.
It's a spike, it's not a USB stick.
It's a USB stick. He uses it to talk to computers and stuff. And he stabs Botica with this in the neck. So how do you survive that as Nash and Botica?
difficult, but not impossible. First, what I would have done after dropping all of the stuff on Robocop, I would have been keeping an eye out for Lewis anyway. So I'm like, right, I've taken Robocop out. Let's check the surrounding areas. I would have seen her pick up the gun. I would have been like, nope, fired with my gun. Bang, headshot, she's dead.
I think that was Bottica's gun that she's using, because he just beats Robocop when he's trapped with a stray bit of metal.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Maybe get your
I'm
gun
talking about
back.
Nash. I'm talking about Nash shooting her.
Oh no, but Nash is upstairs. He doesn't see her.
That's what I'm saying. But once Nash has dropped the stuff, he then has a good look around, assesses the situation, and sees her.
Well, he probably thinks that she's dead because
Well, don't assume then,
Bottica-
Nash. Because that's not how it works, Sunshine. You need proper planning. You must survey the area. Make sure it is safe and secure before continuing. Tactics, people, tactics.
Well, maybe he just can't see her from where he is.
Oh, stop trying to defend him. Okay, Bodica.
Right, the inventor of these USB sticks in the future. Who thought that was a good idea? A spike.
Well, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, but still, who thought this is a great design? School kids can carry their work on what is essentially a knife.
They probably don't use it as that, though. It might not be a USB stick. He just uses it to log into computers rather than typing stuff in.
Yeah, but why are all the computer USB ports perfectly designed for a knife?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's a violent future.
With USB knives.
Do you think they ever intended Robocop to use that as an offensive weapon?
Probably not, no. He might not be able to log onto a computer until he's cleaned all the blood off of it.
All the blood of it, yeah.
So,
I think as Bodica, what I would have done is rather than just beating Robocop with a metal pipe...
He tries to stab him, but then when Nash's crane explodes, he's distracted by that, and then Robocop brings out the knife thing. And Bodica probably doesn't know that Robocop's got that knife thing.
In that case, then, rather than beating him first and then be like, oh no, wait, there's an explosion, I'm going to look away, I'll just stab him then. If he had a knife and he's going to stab him, but you thought I'm going to beat him for a bit first, no, don't, you just stab him then.
Well, no, if Robocop's trapped, so he can't move, so Robocop's only got one shot, and if he sees that this knife's just popped out, he'll probably just, jump backwards and then be out of range of Robocop. So,
Perhaps
surprise
Robocop-
is necessary.
Perhaps Robocop should stop being a little bitch and just push the pipe off of him.
Well, he does get free eventually. He just
Well, there we go then.
He's got the strength to push it off of him anyway.
I'm pretty sure he could have grabbed Bodica's ankle and just snapped it.
Hang on, we're meant to be helping Bottica.
Oh yeah. Oops.
Well, Bottica's a dick, so he probably deserves to die anyway.
I think
he's a drug dealer.
Yeah, we're using the pipe rather than beating Robocop's body. I would have hit him in the face repeatedly, mashed his face up.
Bit.
Yeah, would have done some damage to there, and you would have messed up his targeting system, which was already damaged, I might add at this point.
Yeah, because Lewis has to teach him to shoot again.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really teach him; it just helps him line up so he can
just helped him out.
calibrate it, sort of thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I would have been attacking his eyes and stuff.
All right, that's fair enough. Ed 209 is back for the last time. He's guarding OCP headquarters. Robocop rocks up in his police car with the explodey gun and just shoots Ed 209, and it explodes, and it's just a pair of legs walking around and then falls over.
Ah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Mm.
Maybe Ed 209 scanner shed picked up that was Robocop approaching the car and just opened fire instantly.
I think it tries to arrest him though, or something.
Oh, so now it works properly.
Yeah, it doesn't last
It
too
messes
long
up.
though, does it?
Just don't get an Ed 209.
Yeah, they're not
They
great
don't seem to
value for
work.
money.
They
They're
work
not-
in the remake, but they don't seem to work in the original
no,
at all.
they don't. They're not great. Yeah, that one's tricky. So, last death of the film is Dick Jones. So he's been found out by Robocop, and everybody now knows that he's a bad guy. So he takes the old man hostage. The old man is the leader of the company. They just refer to him as the old man the whole time.
Do they actually give him a name? I don't think they do.
No, he's credited as the old man. So,
Perfect.
Dick takes him hostage. The old man fires him, so he's no longer a member of the company.
So
Robocop can arrest him or shoot him. The old man elbows him, Dick Jones, and gets out of the way, and then Robocop shoots Dick a few times, and Dick falls out the window and hits the pavement. It's not a good move to pull out a gun, is it, and take the company leader hostage.
No, if it's against Ed 209, it would have worked, because as we all know, I did that earlier. But against Robocop's a different thing. You know how they get past this in the remake?
How?
Rather than being a part of the company, you're immune. They've got wristbands instead.
Yeah.
They've got red lights on. And if you're wearing one of them, then it overrides Robocop's programming, and he can't arrest you or shoot you.
Okay. What?
I was just
what's your
saying.
point?
No, I was just saying it's another thing they change in the remake as well.
Are you bitter about that?
I'm
Be
not too
angry.
bitter.
Just say
It helps a
don't
bit.
watch it.
No, I can't say. I can't bring myself to say
Fine.
it just yet.
Okay, you're a dick.
Yes.
No, you are a dick, but you're dick at this point. How do
Okay,
you
thank you.
survive? You
Just
dick.
before he goes to fire me, I would cover his mouth up so he can't say you're fired.
Okay, but I'm sure Robocop would be, in his programming, uphold the law. He'd have to act or do something to save the old man.
Yes, but he wouldn't be able to shoot me, would he? Or, as he goes to fire me, I go, technically, you've given me an unfair dismissal. I'm taking this to HR. Until this happens, I'm actually on administrative leave, so I'm still part of the company.
Why doesn't Dick Jones just surrender for arrest?
I don't know. Maybe
Rather than
'cause
making the situation like 10 times worse.
Well, he's an old guy. Maybe he thinks, oh, if I go to jail, I'm not going to get out. I'll die before I get out.
Yeah, but he's rich, so he's probably got a good lawyer.
Or they'll give him a lethal injection or whatever they use for death penalty over there. Because it's a brutal future, isn't it? It's a more
It's
tough
not
future.
nice,
They seem to
yeah.
take a much tougher stance on crime. So perhaps he knew that going to prison would be even worse. So he'd take his chances like this. But to survive it, covered up the guy's mouth so he can't fire you.
Does anyone else outrank Dick?
I don't
it's
think
just
so.
the old man,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Maybe you
So
killed
you'd have
the
to
old
cut
man.
out his tongue to make sure he never
oh
fires you.
my god! You want to grab this guy and slice his tongue out so he can't fire you?
And have to maybe take his fingers off so he can't write it.
Oh my! All right, yeah, okay, that's done then. So you're going to take this guy hostage, mutilate him first, and now you're okay.
Yeah, although probably during the mutilation, Robocop would shoot me. So that's not a great plan.
No, he wouldn't be able to shoot, would he? Because he's got that directive thing that overrides it. Overrides everything.
Yeah, but I'm sure the old man, whilst I'm trying to fumble and cut out his tongue, maybe Robocop just grabs me and throws me backwards or something. Or maybe some of the other board members intervene.
Nah, they're all
I
pussy.
don't
They
know.
wouldn't help.
I don't know. Okay, that's Robocop. Shall we tell the people how they can get in contact with us if they so wish to?
Yep, lay the information on them.
Alright, email us at wecouldssurvivethat@gmail.com or tweet us at wecouldssurvive. And that's pretty much it. So, Chris, end the show.
You have been listening to We Could Survive That, your weekly survival guide to the movies. We will see you next week. Until then, keep on surviving. Bye-bye.